Hey good people, it's Sheena and I'm back with another video. So today I decided to do like a little story time based off our home buying experience. So as the title says, the seller refused to hand over the keys, possession of the property once we signed the papers. So just to give you a backstory on like the house and like putting in the offer, we did put in an offer on this home twice. The first time we put in an offer, we were just beat out because someone had either a better offer or a better loan. I don't know. But after about 3.5 weeks, I noticed the home had come back on the market. And so I was happy about that because the first time when the house went on the contract, my agent, she was just like, you know, what's yours is yours. It's not over to the fat lady thing, blah, blah, blah. Even my best friend, she said the same thing. But I was like, they don't know what they talking about. They just saying stuff, you know, so my feelings won't be hurt. But sure enough, the home came back on the market. So we put another offer on it and we found out that the original buyer walked away because of how long the closing process was taking. He or she wanted to close within 30 days, which is typical. This was like a year after COVID. So, you know, homes were flying off the shelves. People were buying sight unseen, like very frequently. So the issue with the home is the home belonged to an older man, an elderly man, and his granddaughter had conservatorship over him. So whenever someone put in an offer on the home, it had to go through the court to make sure that this offer or this financial transaction was beneficial to her grandfather. And that can take a long time because you're pretty much waiting on the court, the judge, to approve of the transaction. So apparently this buyer did not want to wait. So of course we put an offer in and the offer got accepted. Yay. But the only issue is the only request that the seller had or contingency is that we were okay with a 60-day closing, which we were. At the time, we were living in a family home, so there was no urgency to like rush. There wasn't a lease running out. So we were like, perfect. So we go through, we do the inspection. Inspection was fine, even though this is a very old home. The owner took very good care of it. A lot of things are in its original state, which is fine with us because you're not guessing what patchwork was done over the years. So there were on a couple of things that came up with the inspection, and they were very small. The other issue was the appraisal. We got, you know, the bank, you know, they chose the appraisal company, and I want to say it was the day before the appraisal guy was supposed to be coming or done, have his report submitted. He could not make it. Family issue, medical issue, I don't know, but at the last minute, okay, my phone went out. But that's nothing new. So we had to scramble to find another company to appraise the home, and I had to wait. We had to wait for a refund for the original appraisal. So finally, the appraisal came in. It came in higher than listing and offer price. So we were happy about that. And we thought those were the end of our troubles. But fast forward to closing day. So we intentionally picked a closing time early in the morning so that there would be time for it to be recorded in the county deed, because I am aware that a seller has the right to hold on to possession of the property until like they know the money is there, all the money is wired, and that it has been recorded. But typically they don't do that. Typically you just hand over the keys at signing. And that's what I was expecting when I dreamed of like closing day on a home. We would meet the sellers. They were like, oh, thank you for buying a home. Now, we didn't get any of that. We knew ahead of time that the granddaughter would not be there to sign anything. So it was just my agent and the attorneys and us. So we go through, we sign everything, and then after that, there's like a pause, and I see the agent and the attorney talking, and they got word that the seller does not want to relinquish or give possession of the property. And we're like, why? We were first told that she had some issues going on where a family member needed assistance and she was not signing anything until her husband got a chance to look over it. And I was like, wow. Then it came out that she was unaware that we were closing on that date. Now, I've never sold a home before, but I'm assuming your agent is keeping you in the loop as far as when and where things are happening. And the fact that the seller is the one that asked for a longer closing time is just mind-boggling to me. But anywho, we were still thinking we would get the keys that day. So they were just like, you guys, we'll call you later. Give her time to let her husband kind of look over everything. And so, I'm Googling folks and I'm trying to see who is this seller. And I see like, she's literally selling a home that's $500,000. And I'm like, what is the big deal about this house? Like, it's a drop in the bucket compared to what you're selling and probably what you're moving to. So I was just like, I don't get what the big deal is. I can see if it was your first time, like I should be the one like saying, wait, let me read over everything. But anywho, we leave. We're like, let's just go get lunch. My husband and I were like, let's go get lunch. We went to Lowe's, looked at washer and dryers, all that kind of stuff. Things you do when you're about to move in a new home. And then 1 o'clock comes, no phone call. 2 o'clock comes, no phone call. So around 4 or 5 o'clock, our agent calls us and says that the seller's not giving the keys up. And I'm like, how can they do this? Like, we've signed everything. They have our money. Like, how can they do that? And the agent was, she was trying to keep us calm, but I could hear that she was frustrated as well. She was just like, we'll give them to the rest of the day, but if she continues to act this way, now we're talking about a lawsuit. And so I was like, okay, I was not happy. My husband, he wasn't happy. So we went to bed. And that night I was just thinking, well, maybe it's a sign that the house isn't for us. And I was also getting like angry, like, okay, so we've done all this and they're just living their life. They're just going on about their business, And I'm like, what if we were in a situation where our lease was out, where we had nowhere to go, things were like in the truck ready to go. Like they did not care about that at all, which I'm sure we're strangers to them, but it's just like, be a good human, So, we slept on it and our agent, she pretty much was like, she was going to try to get it handled. So the next day we get the phone call because I was like, if I didn't hear anything else, I'm just we should just pull out on the house. So the next morning she calls with good news and she's like, hey, we have the keys. Meet me at the house. We met her here and when we pulled up in the driveway, she was just cute dangling the keys. And we walked to the back patio and she was like, there were some things that the granddaughter wanted to get. Like, why not just say that? But for me, it just seems like there were so many different things. Like first, you didn't know the date. Second, your husband had to read over it. Now it's you wanted something from the house. So when she told me that, I did reach out to the seller's agent and said, hey, the house is probably going to be empty for a few days because I knew we were going to paint. So if she wants to come in the house or the shed and get anything of personal value to her, she's more than welcome to do that. And, he acknowledged it and I heard nothing. So I assumed it was all good. So then we finally move in and there were some things on the property and one was a trailer. So we come home one day and the trailer is missing. And something tells me, because at first I was like, oh, well, she came and got the trailer. I was like, why would she wait until like 2 weeks, So something told me to reach out to the seller's agent and just say, hey, did the seller come and remove a trailer off the property? And he responded back and he was like, absolutely not. and he said that the seller was asking if we wanted it returned. And I was like, yeah. My husband was like, yes. So within 6 hours, the trailer was back on the property. So the seller said that was a family member that came and got it, you know, without their permission. And you know how it is sometimes when people move or pass away, you may be like, oh, well, you know, when we move, you can have this. And maybe the seller was taking too long, I don't know. But whoever it was, they felt free to come get it. And at this point, you were trespassing and stealing something off of the property. She was able to reach out to whoever, and then they were able to bring it back. But yeah, it was not the home buying experience I saw people have, I thought I would have. It wasn't like a magical fairy tale thing, but it was still a fairy tale since we got our home at the end. But I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that is something that can happen. It can happen to anybody. And thankfully, we only had to wait till the next day for people to get right. So that's it for today's video. As always, you guys take care, and I'll see you on the next one.